Have you ever woken up one morning and felt like your life was on repeat? The same routine, the same cycle. Work, eat, sleep, repeat. You've tried to change, to start again, to make today the day, but after a few days, everything goes back to the way it was. You lose motivation, you procrastinate, and you feel disappointed in yourself. But you are not lazy, and you are not weak. The problem is that your mind has been programmed the wrong way. Jim Rohn once said, "If you don't program your own mind, the world will do it for you." And sadly, the world out there doesn't care whether you succeed or not. It only wants you to do just enough to keep living, consuming and repeating like a machine. So today, let's take a deeper journey. A journey to reprogram your mind so you no longer live as a victim of old habits, but as the creator of your destiny. Not through hyper emotion, but through understanding, determination, and disciplined action. Imagine your mind as an operating system. If it's full of faulty code, fear, self-doubt, procrastination, anxiety, and lack of direction, no matter how hard you try, you'll end up sabotaging yourself. The painful truth is that most people don't even realize they're being controlled by these mental viruses. We tell ourselves, "I'm not good at business," "I'm not as talented as others," or "Success isn't for people like me." But these are not truths. They're old programs running in your mind. Jim Rohn said, "Success is not a miracle, it's a formula." And that formula begins with how you think about yourself. The first step is awareness. Ask yourself, what am I believing that isn't true? Do I believe I don't deserve wealth? That I can't learn quickly? That only lucky people succeed? All those beliefs were programmed by someone, family, school, society, or your past failures. But if you never question them, they will control your entire life. The second step is self-talk. You must speak to yourself in a new language. Jim Rohn said, "Don't wait for others to motivate you. Learn to motivate yourself." Start every morning by saying, "I can learn anything I want. I'm disciplined and take action daily. I don't need to be perfect. I just need progress. I control my mind." You might think this sounds silly, but remember, you've been repeating negative statements for years. "I'm tired. I can't do this." Your mind believed those too. So now it's time to consciously rewrite your inner dialogue. The third step is creating a new self-image. Jim Rohn said, "You cannot outperform the image you have of yourself." If you still see yourself as a procrastinator or a failure, you'll live that way. Close your eyes and imagine the version of you 6 months from now. Disciplined, confident, focused, living with purpose. See that person clearly, and each day, act like that person would. The fourth step, action without motivation. Jim Rohn emphasized that discipline is better than inspiration. If you only act when you feel motivated, you'll always be a slave to your emotions. Success doesn't come from inspiration, it comes from schedule. Tell yourself, "I will do this at 6 a.m. and do it, rain or shine. Start small, write in your journal, exercise for 10 minutes, list 3 goals, and follow through. Every small action rewires your mind to believe, "I am someone who keeps my word." Many people think reprogramming the mind is about meditation, podcasts, or books. But real transformation happens through consistent, disciplined action. That's how you send the strongest signal to your brain, "I am changing." The next step is to redraw your mental map. Jim Rohn said, "You can't sail to a destination without a map." Most people live by reaction, not direction. They wake up reacting to news, notifications, deadlines, letting the world control how they think. Take 15 minutes to write, "Where am I now? Where do I want to be in 6 months? Who do I want to become? What must I remove from my mind? What must I add to my life?" Writing it down gives your ideas power. Your mind needs a clear destination. Next, program your environment. Never underestimate how your surroundings affect your mindset. If your space is messy, your thoughts will be too. If you're around negative people, your hope will fade. If you consume toxic content, you'll start to think negatively. So clean your space, unfollow negativity, and surround yourself, even virtually, with people who live with purpose and discipline. Jim Rohn said, "You are the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with." And if you don't have positive people around, let books and videos of great thinkers be your 5. Then start acting like your future self. Most people think, "When I'm successful, I'll behave like a successful person." But the truth is the opposite. You must act like one first. Wake up as they would, plan your day as they would, Make decisions as they would. Not perfectly, but intentionally. One of the biggest traps is losing momentum after a few days. Day 1 is exciting, day 2 is okay, day 3 you quit. Why? Because you don't know how to keep your mind focused. Jim Rohn had a simple formula. Each day, learn something related to your goal, write something about it, and take one action toward it. These 3 acts connect your focus and keep your purpose alive. Yes, your mind will always try to pull you back to the old version of you. That's normal. But guard your mind like a treasure. When you feel tired or unmotivated, revisit your why. Why did you start? To change your life? To prove to yourself you can? To gain freedom, confidence, purpose? Write your reason down and read it every morning. Finally, understand this truth. Success is not a destination, it's an identity. When you've reprogrammed your mind long enough, you won't have to try to be disciplined. You'll become disciplined. You won't have to force yourself to work. You'll feel incomplete if you don't. That's the highest level of transformation. When you no longer pretend to live differently, you are different. You don't need more luck or another chance. Everything you need is already inside you, waiting to be activated by a new mindset. Jim Rohn said, "You can't control the wind, but you can adjust your sails." And now you know how to adjust yours. From today, speak consciously, act consistently, write your goals, visualize your best self, and live as if you already are that person. Do it for 30 days, and you'll start thinking, speaking, and reacting differently. People will ask, "What happened to you?" And you'll simply smile and say, "I stopped waiting for success. I started becoming it."